So this is the macaroni salad, the fried shrimp and meatballs, special Hawaiian style, special salad. Come check it out. Hotep from Mia Moore's Polynesian BBQ. We're here. I just want to talk about Hawaii because that's the kind of food that we've been eating. I used to live in Hawaii. I used to live on the Big Island, which is called the Big Island or the Big Island of Hawaii, or just the Big I for short. I used to also live on Maui. So, between both those islands, I lived there for maybe a year, right around a year in time. While I was there, I also flew to Kauai for a concert. One thing you should know when you fly from island to island, you can save some money and take a small plane that holds about 12 people. Very small, smallest plane I've ever been on, except for the plane I went on when I jumped out of the airplane from 9,000 feet in the Outer Banks. But yeah, you save some money on those small little flights, small little planes from island to island. But Hawaii is an interesting place. Very beautiful. Big tourist attraction, which is how they make a lot of money. But at the same time, you gotta watch out if you leave the resort, because the locals, they don't really like outsiders. And it's not really so much, as far as I'm concerned, like particularly just a racist thing or whatever kind of racial thing. It's more about that you're not from there, you don't know their customs. You don't know how sacred the island is to them. You don't know how important everything is to them. You don't live the way that they live on their own sacred space. You come there just thinking you can do what you want, litter, kick over rocks, play with turtles. By the way, a turtle is the ancestors of Hawaiian people, so don't play with them. Don't mess around with them, or you will get messed up. So, the Hawaiian, they believe stuff like that things have spirit, and the volcano has its own spirit, and it's like a goddess, and they have a lot of different beliefs, a lot of different ways of life. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just go there playing around. It's very important to them. But if you go there and you want to live there, you have to learn a lot of things, learn a lot of culture, and actually be a part of the culture, not just be an outsider looking in. You gotta be accepted by them, or you'll never make it there. If you go and stay on a resort, you're fine. You don't really deal with any of that. You can have your little American food and go home. But if you want to live in Hawaii and get food like this, you're gonna have to learn some culture. You gotta call the woman older than you auntie. You gotta call the guy older than you uncle. You gotta show some respect. You gotta say aloha, shaka. You know what I'm saying? Words like that. You gotta start learning some words. And they got their own little language called pidgin. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn some stuff. So this is shaka, by the way. This. And you know what I'm saying? You gotta just kind of know where you're at when you go to Hawaii. The most tourist-friendly island in Hawaii is Oahu. That's the most tourist-friendly island is Oahu. The rest of them is really a lot harder to be a tourist there if you leave the hotels and leave the resorts. So just remember that. But with that being said, when I lived in Hawaii, I could just walk down the street. And one of the streets was called the King's Highway in Pahoa, Hawaii, in what we call the bush on the wet side of the Big Island. The King's Highway. I could walk down the King's Highway, scoop up 40 bananas in one bushel, or scoop up some wild guavas. All this was wild. I don't really need a lot of money. You can just live off the land. I met some people. Met some people that were letting me. Truck just went by. I met some people. They were letting me live on their couch and in their spare room for $100 or $200 a month. You don't need a lot of money in Hawaii if you meet the right people. I didn't have no money when I was in Hawaii, and I lived like a king. You know what I'm saying? We had star fruit in our yard, the coconuts in our yard. You can walk down the street and get mangoes. You know what I'm saying? What you need a lot of money for, man? You can live off the land. If you know how to hunt and fish, you're good, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a misconception that you need a lot of money to live in Hawaii. If you know how to live right, you don't need money. We were living off the grid in Hawaii, which means we had no running water, no setup electricity. We got electricity from a gas generator, or you can get a sun ray generator, you know, from solar power. You know, we're collecting rainwater in something called a catchment. It looks like like a swimming pool or something you bathe in, and it catches a lot of rainwater, and we're using water for that. It's called a catchment. You know, we're living for free, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you need money for, man? You know, my buddy, he would just recycle bottles and cans and live off of that, bro. Like, we're out there doing it big, bro. You can grow weed 3 times a year in 1 year. That's 3 seasons. It's always sunny. Or you can have fruit growing all year round in your property. What you need money for, bro? You know? So we're out here just doing it big in Hawaii, man. I was out there making music, just going to reggae concerts, bro. I was living it up, man. But, like I said, you gotta have respect for them locals, man. I'll put you in check real quick, bro. So, you know, oh, by the way, I did want to mention, I got much love for a place called Banana Bungalow on Maui. If you ever need a place to live, man, you're getting down and out, make your way to the Banana Bungalow. They'll let you live there. All you have to do is do like 16 hours a week, work a week. They give you free room and board and food. And all the visitors that come and leave their food in the refrigerator, you can eat that. You don't even need money. You can hitchhike all over Hawaii. You don't even need a car, or you can rent a car for very cheap around these tourist places. When we're on the Big Island, we're not on the Big Island. I mean, when we're on Maui at the Banana Bungalow, they got like tours that will take you around, take you to the beach, to Io Needle. You probably get to go down the road to Hana, to the 7 sacred pools, which you got to go to if you're on Maui. The 7 sacred pools on the road to Hana, that place is sacred, man. They got waterfalls, they got these swimming pools, all natural. You know what I'm saying? It's like the most special part of Maui. And then you got on Maui, you got the big unactive volcano. It's like a crater. You go down inside it for a couple hours down, like maybe like half an hour down to the bottom. It's like up on a mountain. Also on the Big Island, talk about mountains. Up in the mountains, there's snow up there sometimes, but that's how high it gets. Even though the island's really warm all year. Very, very interesting to see that. I don't know how much snow. I don't know how deep it is. I don't know if you can ski there, but it's snow up there. And you know what I'm saying? And one thing you can do in Hawaii, even though I didn't do this, is you can go to a luau and get you some pig that's been cooked in the earth overnight. I did that when I lived in Oregon, actually. That's some of the best pig you can have if you do eat pig. And, you know, one thing I do want to say, though, about me and Moore's Polynesian BBQ here in Pittsboro is they have my favorite dish here, my favorite Hawaiian dish of all time, which is called Loco Moco. And they serve it on Tuesdays. Like I was saying, the Loco Moco dish that they serve here on Tuesdays at Me or More is my favorite Hawaiian dish. And you can order it in advance if you call the website and order it in advance. Loco Moco, my hands down favorite best Hawaiian dish. Plus they have Hawaiian Sun drinks here, which are my favorite drinks from Hawaii. And they also serve those drinks at a place called World Market by South Point. They have different flavors at World Market of Hawaiian Sun. But this restaurant here that we're at is the only Hawaiian restaurant you're gonna find anywhere around here. The only one they had before just closed down for good. It's the only place. And it's a little bit outside the triangle in Pittsboro, but it's well worth the visit. You wanna tell all your friends, they're very good people. The food here is immaculate. You know what I'm saying? So definitely come check it out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the thing about Hawaii that most people probably heard of, but you definitely want to do, you want to try snorkeling. My mom used to snorkel in Hawaii. She used to love that. Think about going scuba diving there, man. How good would that be? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, Hawaii's good culture. You just have to learn about it before you try to move there. Hotel. Man, if you get this shrimp, you gotta try it with this sauce, man. Look at this, bro. I'm not even sure what kind of sauce this is. The one's darker than the other one. One's more dark, one's more red. Here goes the red one. Well, the red one's more like sweet and sour. The dark one's kind of closer to like some sort of soy sauce kind of deal, like teriyaki soy sauce deal. They're both very good though. Gotta dip them. Try this meatball. Yeah, people talking about Swedish meatballs. They need to come try this. This stuff is proper meatball, son. The thing about Hawaiian food, it's a mix of all kind of cultures, like Samoan, Asian, you know what I'm saying? Different kind of Asian people too, like Chinese, Japanese, Filipino. It's a whole mix. It's real diverse. Yeah, man. Get my little fork out. Actually, to be honest, I don't know what's the proper method in Hawaii. If they eat with fork, spoon, or hand, so I'm just going with the fork. Yeah, that mac salad's good. Looks like some sort of cabbage right here. Very interesting cabbage salad. Very good. And the brother just came out. He just brought us this for free, man. Plus, they gave us this for a deep discount, man. Like at least half off. But this is some sort of spam. It's spam with seaweed and rice. There's a name for it. I just don't know what it's called. But they give this for free, man. They probably sell this stuff in 7-Eleven in Hawaii, man. If I used to live in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure I saw this there. Man, it doesn't get more authentic than this, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Hotel. One of the best meals I've ever had in the Triangle by far. Here at Hawaiian Polynesian BBQ in Pittsboro. So, at South Point Mall, there's some brothers that sell these oils. You see these colors? Some fresh oils they sell. They're right there, around the corner from Panera and Chipotle, in between Psycho Bunny and Sleep Number. They got their own stand there. They're there every day at South Point. Come check them out. They got aromatherapy, they got oils, and they got shea butter. There's also a place called The Rare Collection .co on Instagram and TikTok. The Rare Collection.co on Instagram and TikTok. They got custom shirts and custom hats. They help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? There's also a place called Alpha Kennels NC. They got American Bullies, and they're on Instagram. Alpha Kennels NC. They got bullies. The thing about bullies, American bullies, they're not even as bad as people think. They need a place, they need a home too. Chihuahuas are worse. Smaller dogs are worse. Stop giving bullies such a bad name. They're not that bad. It's just about how you raise them. You know, they're supposed to be like the way they are, but they're worse if you raise them worse. So just raise them correctly. The place with the oils is called AROMATIK BLENDZ on Instagram. And then another shop in Chapel Hill on Franklin, it's on Instagram. It's spelled SHOPLUXCRAFTED. They got all kind of custom shirts and custom hats for you. So go check them out. And like I said, I'm wearing these colors right here, red, black, and green. This means do your own thing, have your own business. You feel me, like I do. So you want to hit me up on any business or go out to eat. We talk about business, talk about investments, talk about anything that I sell, which is custom made shirts. I can make any custom made shirt for you. Give me a text at 919-360-9569. Peace. So like I was saying, these colors, it's about doing your own business. I made this shirt. Nobody has this shirt, bro. Raiders and A's, Oakland. People from Oakland still claim the Raiders and the A's by far, no matter where they move to. Look at the back, same thing. Nobody has this shirt. I can make any shirt you want, bro. Just give me the picture. Like I said, I gave you the number already. Hit me up. And if you want to talk about investing or your own business, I can help you out. I'm also a life coach, a sports coach, psychological active coach for like how you think about sports psychology. I can do all that, man. Let me know. I can help you out. Peace.